Here we go though to 5 red lights for the start of Division 1 in XRS Season 4. It's lights out and away we go, and I did think THB did get a pretty good start there, as we do have a bit of desync there. Asteroid is covering off Neb on the outside and just gets it in front as they're going to go 3 wide there. Revrob has to go off the track there, gives all the places back. A lot of bodywork from the McLaren coming off there. I think he's lost his wing, and there was a spin there at the back. I think that was Mighty King, and Smithy as well was caught up in that. Matty Manga has a 10-second penalty due to that, and we have a virtual safety car right from the start of the race. But Asteroid might be forced to go for a move on THB if he's closing in on this straight. And we will spectate the Ferrari and see what he does do. Alexander getting past Revrob there, and Asteroid is going to try to look round the outside of THB into turn 9. And Asteroid gets the place. Can Neb potentially make the move on THB? Down the inside it goes, and the McLaren is vulnerable here. Neb also goes down the inside of Asteroid, and Neb now takes the lead of the race, makes a bit of contact with Ferrari, and now THB gets up the inside of the Ferrari and retakes P2. Neb going from P3 to P1 in the space of 2 corners. Down to the back there, ELYAS gets past ICU as well, up into P5 for him. That's really all you need to do, all you need to know. But ICU goes around the outside of ELYAS, and ELYAS breaks latest, tries to force the Williams round, but the Williams is there and gets back up into P5. But ELYAS is still going to try and fight this around the outside, but can't get it into turn 5. Can he get it into turn 6 or 7? It's going to be a drag race to turn... Oh, as ICU has a mistake, and that gives ELYAS the place. I was going to say if ELYAS can get the move done down the straight, but he doesn't need the straight. And now Alexander gets past ICU as well, but ICU is trying to burn to try and get past him, but doesn't have the space to do so. And Alexander covers that up quite nicely. He gets a 3-second though, having to cut the turn 9 chicane. But ICU around the outside as THB retakes the lead of the race. And it's going to be side by side between ICU and Alexander. And I think ICU is pushed off there, gives the place back to Alexander. And Wizardboy follows him through as well. ICU still going to try and fight this around the outside, but Revrob up the inside of the Williams can't make the move stick. And at the background there, that's Snips and Tyler going side by side. Can Snips get the move on the RB? Yes, he does. Can Pow even make the move on the RB? Round the outside he goes into turn 1. Yes, he does. 2 drivers there losing 2 places, but Tyler is still going to try and fight this round the outside of the Sauber, and I think even Reese gets in on that battle as well. Reese up to P12. Can Reese go around the outside of the RB to take P11? But no, he has to stay behind as well. What is going on in this midfield part of the race? This is fantastic battling. Battle for the podium right now, or the top 2 or the top 3 places, as Asteroid gets down the inside of 1. Can he get down the inside of 2? I don't think he's closing in enough on THB though to make that move, but he might be able to get it going into turn 11 as Jay Snowy is looking really close to Neb, and Neb has a slight mistake, and that gives Jay Snowy the opportunity down the inside to take the podium places. ELYAS as well goes down the inside of Neb. Can ELYAS get into P4? And he leaves the space on the outside for Neb, but ELYAS gets up into P4 in the Ferrari. Oh, and there's a spin there for Smithy, and he does indeed keep out the way for everyone else. Obviously, no overtaking in that specific zone, as Asteroid is going to try and make the move on THB around the outside. He did this about a lap or 2 ago, and he makes the move once again. And can ELYAS now get into the podium places on Jay Snowy? But I think THB might be able to make the move on Asteroid once again, but he can't. But ELYAS down the inside of the Alpine, but doesn't get the space, or isn't close enough to make that move, and has to stay in P4 through turn 9 and 10. Are they going to swap here into turn 11? THB does have the better straight line speed, and he is going to send one down the inside and gets the move into the lead of the race. And I think in the background that is Wizardboy and ICU going side by side. Wizardboy gets the move around the outside into P7 for the Haas, so ICU hasn't completely got those moves done. He does, oh, as he taps the back and loses an end plate, and that's allowed Snips to go around the outside. He pits, so does Revrob, as there is a safety car. I was about to say ICU doesn't get, all of those moves completed. And that was proof there. Tyler also heads into the pits as well. But why have we got a safety car? Is it Smithy? I think it might be. But yeah, everyone indeed comes into the pits. THB in, Asteroid in, Jay Snowy in, Neb in, Alexander in, ELYAS in, Snips in, Reese in, Wizzy Boy in. Tylo stays out. Let's see how many places he can climb up the order, though. And he is just going to be behind Xander in P6. But let's see when he does decide to go. He's going to be waiting until the very last second, I say, though. I think he might have actually gone out the final corner, though, as he is already pulling about a 6/10 gap between himself and Asteroid. Asteroid might be under pressure by Jason Owie going into turn 1. He's not close enough, though. Let's look further down the order. And Mighty King there pulls to the inside, but can't make the move on Matty Maga. But Matty Maga goes wide, and that allows Mighty King to go through. So does Dom as well. Can ICU make the move on the Red Bull? Round the outside is going to have to go into turn 3, and does indeed get the move, but he goes wide, and that might allow Matty Maga to go back down the inside, but can't get it. ELYAS getting very, very close to Tyler, and as we switch to the Ferrari, he's already passed. And I think Powers as well gets the move on Reese. And Reese going side by side there with Rev Rob, and Rev Rob has been tapped around there. And Reese had to cut the track there. Rev Rob loses many places down into P15 now, and might even be P16. And that is why you don't go side by side into turn 9. I mean, we saw it plenty of times before in these divisions, but that one just got a bit too close, and that can happen. I'll tell you what, he might be actually able to go for the lead down into turn 11 if he's close enough. But I think Jason Owie actually is closing in as Xander and Neb go side by side there in the background, and Xander makes the move down the inside. Can he hold it onto it though? Yes, he does. Onto the exit, and Neb goes down into P5. Jason Owie on Asteroid. Is Jason Owie going to potentially make the move on Asteroid? He might even try and go for the move, for the lead as well. But no, that is going to go to Asteroid. Again, side by side, but Asteroid gets it done before turn 1. And I think Jason Owie might be able to get the move into P2 and gets it before the braking zone, as Techby didn't have the better exit through turn 10. Actually, Asteroid isn't burning. He might just let the Alpine go through here, as he does go to the outside, and Jason Owie takes it down the inside. Will Asteroid, though, be able to get the better exit and potentially try and take it back? But with the DRS that Jason Owie has, that protects himself, as Techby now goes down the inside of Asteroid and gets himself up into P2, and Asteroid now finds himself in P3. As Neb tries to go down the inside of the Haas, and that might have been a bit of moving on a braking by Xander there, and Neb might be reporting that, as he now gets the tank snapper, and ELYAS goes through. Neb gets sent round, and he is now going to lose places of his own as well. I can't lie, I think that was a bit moving on a braking there by Xander, as Techby now goes for the move on Jason Owie around the outside into turn 3. And into turn 3, Techby in P1, Snips and Tylo there going side by side, as Snips has the inside and is just able to hold in front of the RB there, as Mattia Manga now is the next driver to retire from the race. They all stay the same, but Tylo and Snips once again going side by side, and Tylo gets the place, and Powell does as well round the outside of the Mercedes. Oh, is that Neb? Neb's gone off, and Neb is retired, and that's going to be a second safety car in this race. Who is going to pit? Techby in the box, Jason Owie, Asteroid, Xander. We're going to see everyone in the box again for, I would presume, mediums, but can mediums go to the end? And Asteroid is now within 2/10. But I think Jason Owie is going to be able to make the move for the lead on this lap. And I think Asteroid might be able to go for it as well around the outside. But I think Techby is only going to allow one person to get through there, which is going to be Jason Owie. And Jason Owie will have a second dose of DRS. And I think Techby might be under pressure from Asteroid, as Asteroid now goes around the outside on the McLaren. Can he break latest? And I think he does. And around the outside going into turn 11, Asteroid gets the move. Honestly, I don't know who's going to win. I honestly have no idea. I'm going to say, and this might sound like a bold prediction, ELYAS. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. He has the DRS. He's on hard tyres. Zalagi's now spun. he's going to win it. He's going to win it. He might be able to go into P2 though if he can get. What is my cameras? There we go. And his Asteroid gets into the lead, and I thought Tetraby was going to maybe try and make the move on Jay Snowy, but wasn't able to. As ELYAS goes past Tylo, I told you he is cooking. He is getting there. Jay Snowy gets back up the inside of Asteroid to take P1, and I thought Tetraby as well was having a slight look there. There's down the back there. Powell was trying to make a move on Tyler, but wasn't able to. Asteroid catching up to Jay Snowy, and I think he's going to go around the outside there to take the lead of the race. Can Tetraby do anything out of turn 10 though? Did he get the better exit than Jay Snowy? But Jay Snowy has the slipstream off Asteroid, but that's not going to be enough as Tetraby goes down the inside and gets up into P2 in the race as well, for the fastest lap possibly, as Powell gets past Tylo there in the background, and that might give RevRob as well an opportunity as Tetraby goes around the outside to take the lead, and at the back there, that is Reese as well making a move on Tylo. I guess Tylo might have had a bad exit there as he's lost 3 positions in one straight, and he's going to try and immediately try and get past Dom, but isn't able to. He is going to try and look around the outside, but RevRob down the inside of Powell. Can't make the move though, but he is close enough. Tylo can't get the move on Wizzy Boy either. Division 1 highlights might take a while to come out as Jay Snowy goes down the inside of Asteroid, but Asteroid retakes it down the inside. And look at ELYAS, he might be closing in. Let's ride on board with ELYAS and see this battle commence as Tetraby has pulled about a second himself, so Tetraby could be cooking, but let's have a look at ELYAS. Can he make any moves as everyone in front of him has DRS, but he's going to try to go around the outside of Alexander. Can he get the move there as Jay Snowy covers him off? And he can't get the move there, and around the outside he can't get the place, but on the exit of turn 10, Alexander goes wide and ELYAS gets the move. And that's up 1 more position for ELYAS. Can he get into P3 and then potentially try and get into the lead of the race? Asteroid a 10th off Tetraby, and he's going to be in front of Tetraby by probably a 10th. And ELYAS as well there in the background, going for the move on Jay Snowy. Around the outside he goes, and ELYAS into onto the podium places. RevRob gets past Reese as well, and ELYAS goes for the move on Tetraby as well. Could it be a Ferrari 1-2 as we start lap 28? And he is going to break latest probably. Down the inside he goes on the McLaren, but can't get the same corner speed that Tetraby has. I do believe probably has the better speed, but he isn't going to go for it into turn 9. He might be able to get it into turn 11 though, as we're going to ride on board with ELYAS. And you can just see he's going to try and get past Tetraby. Can he go around the outside going into turn 11? No, because Tetraby covers it off really nicely, and it's going to come down to the final lap. Is it going to be ELYAS? Is it going to be Tetraby? Or is it going to be Asteroid? Is ELYAS going to try and send into the final corner? No, he doesn't. Is he going to try and go for a move into turn 1, into turn 3, into turn 6? Where is he going to try and make the move? Yes, I said turn 6 is an overtaking spot. It isn't really, but I'm going to say it is. And ELYAS is actually closing in. Can he go for it? No, he can't, because Tetraby does some excellent defending there. And maybe seeing his 2 defensive moves, but we will only wait and see. But Tetraby is going to try and make the move around the outside. But ELYAS is there as well, round the outside of Tetraby on the McLaren, round the outside into turn 4, and he taps the McLaren off there. That could be a post-race penalty coming for ELYAS, but coming through turn 5 and into turn 6 and 7. Can ELYAS get the move on Asteroid, or is he going to try and defend off Jay Snowy? Let's ride on board with ELYAS. Can he get the move? Is he going to have the DRS? Is he going to have enough straight line speed to get past Asteroid? You can see Jay Snowy trying to burn everything as well. And look at ELYAS around the outside of Asteroid, and he's going to get the move, and he's going to go into turn 10, and he's going to burn all the way down through into turn 11. Can Jay Snowy make the move on Asteroid? I don't think he's close enough, but Tetraby is going to be pressured by Alexander as Alexander goes down the inside, and Tetraby loses another place into P5. And ELYAS, I said from the start, I send under the safety car, he is going to cook, and he's going to come through the final few corners and onto the straight, and it is going to be ELYAS that wins the Australian Grand Prix for the first time in Season 4, the first race in Season 4 for Division 1. ELYAS pitting for the hard tyres, and he wins the Australian Grand Prix. Asteroid fought for it, but only good enough for P2. Fantastic points for Ferrari, and Jay Snowy finishes in P3. Good points as well for McLaren, finishing in P4 and P5. Techebi in the 4th place spot, and Revrob in P5. And then Pau, P6 for him. Tylo finishes in P7, Reese finishes in P8, Xander in P9, Dom finishes in P10 with Wizzyboy in P11, Snips in P12, Mighty King will eventually cross the line in P13, and Zalagi has already finished. What a race that was. I said from the start, ELYAS, when he pitted onto the hards, he was going to win, and look at him. Top of the timing boards. But like I said, if he does open a ticket, or if Techebi opens the ticket with that ELYAS push, he might lose that. But that only time will tell about that post-race penalty.